Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look at a very important topic, which is quadratics. Okay, we're gonna tackle it, we're gonna try to understand it, and we're gonna solve some questions towards the end of the lecture. Okay, so let's start. So basically, when we say quadratics is nothing but a function. So it's a type of function, just like where we have a linear function. A linear function is the basic and the most easiest function. Let's take an example of a linear function, which is y equals 2x plus 3, for example. So I have an input, which I put an input into x, it will do some things and it will give me an output y. So let's start and try when x equals 1. So y equals 2, instead of x I will put a 1 plus 3. So y equals 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. So when my input is 1, my output is 5. And then I can put this on a graph of y against x. When my input is 1, my output is 5, and this is my point. And I can keep doing the same for multiple inputs and multiple outputs, and this is going to give me a shape at the end. Okay? So, characteristics of a linear function. Linear function is having the shape of a straight line. Okay, it's very simple, no curves, it's just a straight line. Okay, also the linear function has a general form, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, where m is the slope, okay, and b is the y-intercept. Okay, right, let's take a look at the quadratics function. So quadratic function, let's start with the shape. It's no longer a straight line shape. No, however, it's a curve shape. This curve has a special name. It's called a parabola. And this parabola is shaped like a U, okay, opening upwards or opening opening wait opening downwards. Okay, so so it has a general shape as well as it has a general form. So the general form of a quadratic function is basically y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are numbers or are constants. Okay, right. Let's see an example such as y equals x squared plus 5x plus 4. So here a is what? A is 1, because what is multiplying x squared now is 1, but we usually don't write it, okay? B is 5 and C is 4, okay? So in order to understand quadratics, we need to know how to draw it on the graph, and we need to know how to get the information we want. Right. First thing, I have something that tells me if A is positive, then the shape will open upwards. It will look like this. And if A is negative, then it will open downwards, then the shape is going to be like this. So from my equation here, I know the first information that my parabola is going to open upwards or negative or downwards. Is going to open upwards. Why upwards? Because my A is positive. My A is 1, which is a positive number. So my parabola is going to open upwards. Okay, but is this enough to know where exactly the parabola or everything about it? No, I know that it just open upwards. It might be here, it might be here, it might be like this, like this. So I still need more information, okay, in order to completely know everything about my parabola. Okay, so let's continue over here. Like, what other information I would want to know? I would want to know a very important information, which is called the solutions of the quadratic function, or it has another name, the x-intercepts, or it has the name roots, or it has the name zeros. These are all the same thing, the same thing. These are just names for the x-intercept. So where does my parabola intercepts the x-axis? So this is my x-axis, of course, this is my y-axis. So my first x-intercept is here and my second x-intercept is here. So I can see that I have two x-intercepts for this parabola. Okay, how do we find the x-intercepts? This is the most important thing about quadratics. Let's rewrite our function. Our function was y equals x squared plus 5x plus 4. Okay, I know it's gonna open upwards and I want to know how to solve this. Solving means finding the x-intercept. So I have multiple ways to solve. The first way is factorization. Okay. Second way is quadratic formula. There is a third way, but we will not look into it today. Quadratic formula. This third way is called completing the square. Personally, I prefer the quadratic formula. Why? Because it works for everything and it's simple. Very simple. However, factorization, I need my equation or my formula to be factorizable. Okay, not all the quadratic equations are factorizable. We will look into this. So let's start by solving using the easy way, which is the quadratic formula. Okay, this quadratic formula is like this. So it's a minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Okay, so let's apply that. So a minus b. What is my b? We said my b is 5 from here. b is 5 plus or minus square root of b squared, so 5 squared minus 4 multiply my a is 1 and c is 4. And let's do this, all over 2 multiply 1. Okay, so remember we said we have two roots, right? How will I get two answers, okay, from this single formula? Here, from this part. This part says plus or minus. So one time I will solve this using a plus and one time I will solve it using a minus. So let's start by doing this, okay? Let's start by doing plus first, okay? And then we can take a copy of this and paste it over here and we'll solve it later, okay? So let's start by doing the plus. So now minus 5 plus square root, okay, 5 squared is 25 minus 4 times 1 is 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. So minus 16 over 2 times 1 is 2. So this is going to be equal negative 5 plus square root of 25 minus 16 is 9 over 2. So this is minus 5 plus square root of 9 is 3 over 2. Minus 5 plus 3 is negative 2 over 2, so negative 1. So my first x-intercept or my first root or my first solution is negative 1. X at negative 1. So if I draw my number line here, I have x negative 1. This is a point where my curve will hit the x-axis. So this is my first solution. Okay? Type for the second solution, instead of having, remember, at the first time we had this as a plus. So now we will solve when this is a minus. Okay? So it's the exact same thing. Minus 5 minus square root 25 minus 16 over 2. So minus 5 minus, this is going to be 9. So square root of 9 over 2. So this is going to be minus 5 minus 3 over 2. Minus 5 minus 3 is 8, is minus 8 over 2. So my answer is minus 4. So my second x is minus 4. So if I come here on my number line, I have my second x. So x1 was equaling negative 1. My second x is negative 4. So I know that I have another point at x minus 4 and 0. These are my two roots. Okay, so I know that my shape, my parabola, opens upwards and it touches these 2 points. So it could be like this, right? طب is this enough? طب why is it not like this? It could be like this. It could be like this, right? I still need some extra thing in order to know completely the shape of my parabola. What's this extra thing? Is very, very simple. It's called the vertex. Okay, so vertex is basically this point, the lowest point when it opens upwards, and the highest point when it opens downwards. So basically this point, it's called the vertex. Okay, let's go down and see. So now we found our roots. Okay, now we need to find the vertex in order to solve. So vertex has a formula which is very easy. Vertex is a point at the end of the day, so it has an x and a y. So the x coordinate of the vertex, the x coordinate, x of vertex is given by this formula, minus b over 2a. Very easily. Let me rewrite my function again. Y equals x squared plus 5x plus 4. So minus b, which is minus 5 over 2 times a, so 2 times 1, so 2. So my vertex is negative 5 over 2, or negative 2.5. So this is my vertex, x of the vertex. So my vertex has an x of negative 2.5. But now I need to find the y. It's very easy. If I want to find the y, I will substitute my x here. So my y equals negative 2.5 squared plus 5 multiply negative 2.5 plus 4. And if we put that on the calculator, it's going to give us negative 2.5 squared plus 5 times negative 2.5 plus 4. That is going to give us an answer of negative 2.25. So my vertex is negative 2.5 and the y is negative 2.25. So I will come and I will see, okay, here is negative 2.5 and the y is negative 2.25. So this is my point, this is my vertex. So this is going to be my lowest point. So my parabola is going to look something like this. Now I have solved my parabola. So to wrap up, in order to find the most important things about the quadratic function, we need two things: the solutions, which are the x-intercepts, just like we found them here. X was negative 4 and x was negative 1. Okay, these are found by factorization or quadratic formula. Okay, and the second thing is my vertex, which is found by this equation. So the x of vertex is equal to minus b over 2a. And then when I find the x, I can substitute in the original function to find the y. And now I found the two important things. And obviously the third and most important and most easy thing is, does it open up or down? These are the three things we need. Open up when a is positive and opens down when a is negative. Okay, right.